Hey there, VC. How we doing? Adam here from the Freight. Hope all is well. Wanted to come at you with a video. I just got back from Rhode Island. Hit up a couple of record shops while I was down there. I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about a couple of really big finds that I had, and also I want to start this video with a shout out to a awesome VC channel and an awesome VC dude who has been ridiculously supportive of the Freight and our new record, Tales of Maybe. Came out a little over, almost 2 months ago now, a little over a month ago. And he has done so much to support it. I sent him a copy. He being Concert Buddie, does Surface Noise, does his own videos. Hopefully you guys know him. I'm going to link his channel. He's such a good dude. Chance, he's the man. He's helped promote this record. He's had some very kind things to say about it. And he's also, I've gotten to, chat with him a little bit and text with him and talk back and forth with him a little bit. He's just a good dude. And I'm so glad our paths have crossed. And I want to give him a shout as, just a good guy in the vinyl community, someone who also puts out killer content. His Surface Noise crew, I love what they do. I think they're very original in the vinyl community, and I think they bring some levity to the vinyl community, and it's all very lighthearted. And, I like how they don't take things too seriously, and, that's right up my alley. So Chance, thank you for all you do. I'm so grateful for the support you've brought to me. He helped facilitate get Tales of Maybe into one of his local shops, one of the awesome local shops that I'm going to talk about in a future video. But Chance, thank you so much, man. And if you haven't already, I can't imagine you're watching this without knowing about Concert Buddie. But if you don't, I'm going to link it in the description. Go to Concert Buddie, subscribe. His channel's killer. He's been doing some killer prices on eBay too, like high prices on eBay that things have been going for. It's a really interesting series, actually. Anyway, shout out to Concert Buddie. Thank you so much, man. All right, let's get into the records. Two shops I visited down in Rhode Island. One was Olympic Records in Providence, and one was Looney Tunes in, I believe it's Jamestown, next to Narragansett, Rhode Island. So two awesome shops. They both, I would say, more specialize in used records. Looney Tunes is owned by this really cool guy. He used to be a DJ, and I think he specializes in like reggae and dub. So there's actually a really great like reggae selection in that store as well. But they have a killer used selection. Looney Tunes is a shop you definitely want to dig because you never know what you're going to find. You could find some gold in there. The prices were really fair in Looney Tunes as well. So I got some stuff there. Olympic Records, my man Kevin, who is the owner. What a cool dude. Olympic Records in Providence, they are the store that is, I'm trying to get the record Tales of Maybe into a brick and mortar store in every state. And he's the Rhode Island store. So we're stoked about that. And Olympic Records is a great shop. It's got a killer used selection. It's got some good new stuff too, but they have an awesome jazz selection. So if you're ever down in that Rhode Island, Providence area, really good jazz selection there. I really enjoyed that. And Kevin was such a good dude. It was good to connect with him and meet him in person. So let's get into the records. The first one I grabbed, Return to Forever. This is one that, if you know Return to Forever, you know me, I love jazz fusion. I love that whole 70s world of jazz. Really, I really love it. So this is Music Magic, Chick Corea, Stanley Clarke. I didn't have this one. I'm working my way through my Return to Forever collection, so I was really stoked to grab this. Return to Forever records typically sound fantastic. I haven't listened to that one yet, but I'm really excited to do that. In that kind of 70s jazz world, none other than Mr. Donald Byrd, who I think does it better than anybody in this time period. This is on that Black Blue Note label. Stepping into Tomorrow, Donald Byrd, man, for my money, he's right up there as my favorite jazz artist that was doing it in the 70s with that 70s jazz soul thing. I think he did it as good, if not better than anybody. And he had a lot of output during that period, which is great, for all of us. So I was stoked to get this one. That record sounds really fantastic too. In that same sort of jazz soul world, Mr. George Duke, Liberated Fantasies. This is on the MPS label. This is a really great record. This was again $8.99 at Looney Tunes. This record sounds fantastic. Has some awesome vocals on it from both George Duke and some female background vocals. This was a really awesome listen. I really enjoyed this record very much. George Duke is one of those artists where you can find his output for relatively cheap. And, I own several George Duke records, and they're all great listens. They're all just great listens. So if you ever come across some George Duke and you're thinking about, that's another artist who I think is a good entryway into like kind of that soul jazz world to dip your toe in, George Duke's a great artist for that. Really fantastic stuff. All right, this next one, Hank Crawford, Cajun Sunrise. This is one I'd never seen before. I bought this one cold. I bought this one basically because I think the cover's so badass. I just think that's one of the coolest covers. It's just a great picture. It's on the Kudu label. So this record is an awesome combination of like soul vocals, because his vocals took me by surprise. His vocals were like, have this almost late 60s soul thing going on with his vocals, and this like kind of into the 70s jazz soul thing going musically. Really awesome combination. I really enjoyed this record. Very listenable, very accessible again if you wanted to dip your toe in. I really enjoyed this. Thought this was a great record. Next, this is actually an online purchase. Jaylen Gonda, Come Around and Love Me. Jaylen Gonda, if you don't know, he's a modern soul artist. He is on Daptone. If you know Daptone, Daptone's a fantastic label. They have that vintage vibe, with all their artists, and this is definitely that. Cool vintage vibes here. Awesome soul record. I think this is his latest, but I'm not quite sure. I don't know all his discography. I believe this is his latest record. It's really, really good. Sounds excellent. Definitely recommend this if you're into that modern / vintage soul thing. Excellent voice right here. I really did that. Great record. Next one, none other than Miss Bonnie Raitt, Green Light. Bonnie Raitt is a favorite of mine. She's one of those artists that, you think about her, you think about, the record Nick of Time and, all the 90s hits she had, late 80s, early 90s. She has a ton of output from the 70s and early 80s that goes just kind of unspoken about. But I'm telling you, Bonnie Raitt's music is fantastic, and they typically sound really great. This one's on Warner Brothers. I actually haven't listened to this record yet, but I'm really excited to. This one came from 1982. I was excited to find it. I was excited to see this. And Bonnie Raitt is another artist who's like a total cheap heat artist, other than her big hits. In the 90s, one of them goes for crazy money. I have a copy. I forget which one it is, but other than that one, she's an artist who you can find extremely cheap records of, and they're typically really great. Her voice is incredible. Next, Shaka Khan, I Feel For You. This was I found this. It was a good price. I grabbed it. I enjoy Shaka Khan a lot. I dig her voice. I really love her stuff. With Rufus, this was just one I didn't have, and I was all about getting it. That was a good price and grabbed it. This one I got from Olympic. All right, this is another one. This is actually one I got online too. The next two I got online at the recommendation of University of Vinyl, Tim. He had a couple of records that he talked about recently, and I'll link his channel in my description as well if I remember. I'm usually kind of bad at that, but I'll do my best. University of Vinyl is a great channel, by the way, too. Low Spark of High Heeled Boys, Traffic. He was saying how this was such like in a fantastic on the Island label, fantastic just sounding record. I love Traffic. I love Steve Winwood. I really enjoy Steve Winwood a lot. He's someone who I really, really dig. And all versions of Steve Winwood from when he was younger through the 80s, all that stuff. I dig it. I was very eager to pick this up after hearing how good Tim said that this record sounded. I have not listened to it yet, but what's cool about this is it's got this, I don't know if you can see, it's got like, these two corners are missing, so it looks like it's like slanted. It's just a cool idea for a record sleeve. Very cool stuff. I'm excited to listen to that. This next one, Fulfilling This First Finale, Stevie Wonder. This also came on that recommendation from Tim. I have other, the other Stevie Wonder records, and especially from this era, and they all sound lights out good. I'm expecting nothing less from this one. This has Boogie on Reggae Woman on it. This is just, get the lyrics inside. Very excited about this. I'm a huge Stevie Wonder fan. Really love Stevie. I've seen him in concert several times. Very excited about that. So let me get to the two kind of big things that I found. One at each store, actually. We have an RL, Robert Ludwig, Led Zeppelin 2, and we have a George Piros Zeppelin 2. I haven't had a chance to go through both sides front to back yet. I went through side one of each, and they were both fantastic. I want to talk to you a little bit about this. So real quick, the RL I got at Olympic, and Kevin gave me a great price on it. It's in really good shape, except it has a tiny skip in what is and what should never be towards the end of the song. Sometimes you can see it. I don't know if it'll come up. Like I can see where it is. It's right here. Let's see if you can see that. Right above where my finger is. There's a tiny little skip. It goes for about, I don't know, 20 seconds maybe, and a little pop, and then there's a tiny skip after it. That's the really only issue with the record. The rest of it sounds really good. He played it for me in the shop, which was, you couldn't get the full feel of it in the shop, but and then I got it home and listened to side one. So that's the one issue with it, but he gave me a good price on it, and I was very cool to pay for it. I don't see a lot of RLs where I am in the Boston area for whatever reason. I don't know if they didn't make a ton to the East Coast or whatever. I know they're out there, but I don't see a lot. And so I was excited to see it, and he had it on the wall for a reasonable price, and he told me why it was a reasonable price, and he was super cool about it, and he let me listen to it, and I'm just stoked to have it. This is my first RL Zeppelin 2. Definitely pumped about this one. I'm going to do a separate video on that and comparing it to the George Piros, which I picked up at Looney Tunes, again, for I think what is a super fair price. It was around $50, $54 actually. But if you know the story on this one, this is like, everyone says kind of like the next best thing. I think this press was like 1978, and he did just an incredible job. This is a very well-known pressing as well. You can see I got some writing on the label there. But other than that writing on the label, this copy is in great shape. And I listened to it, and it sounds great. It sounds great. I tell you, I had, I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan, of course, just like a lot of people are. And I never, ever can find clean copies of original Led Zeppelins. Very rarely do I come across original Zeppelins that are in clean condition. These are both in very good condition. And so I was so psyched. And I put on the Piros first. And my initial reaction was, holy smokes, that's what this record's supposed to sound like, really. Because it's on the other ones, the other presses that aren't the RLs or the Piros, they are veiled. They are totally veiled. And they are totally just recessed. And it sucks. And I could hear it for sure. But then when you actually do hear it in that context, it really is a difference. And it's very interesting. And the Piros was excellent. And I think maybe that's a great way to not pay the RL prices and still get a fantastic sounding record. I'm going to talk about that more in another video. But anyway, I just wanted to share those with you. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Head over to my buddy, Concert Buddie, head over to his channel. Give him a like and subscribe if you haven't already. He's fantastic. And also, I think I mentioned Tim from University of Vinyl in this video as well, who's been great as well. So please check their channels out, like and subscribe here, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.